What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. What's holding you back? You gotta fly like an eagle and go high. What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. Oh, holding you back. You finally gotta reach for the sky. I was born to succeed, not to be a spoke in the wheel. Told myself there's more to this than just waking up when I feel. So I made a commitment to turn my earnings up. Couldn't see myself as an employee that still couldn't. Looked in the mirror, saw a spark in my eye. Knew I had to hustle and stop living a lie. I packed my dreams in a suitcase, took the first train out, headed for the horizon with success is no doubt. What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. What's holding you back? You gotta fly like an eagle and go high. What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. Oh, holding you back. You finally gotta reach for the sky.
Greetings and welcome to another edition of What's Holding You Back. My name is Rob McCray from the Business Building Network, and I am so excited to be with you once again for this Wednesday edition of What's Holding You Back. Yes, my apologies first and foremost. We were not able to be with you last week on Wednesday, but the week before we came on Friday, as we had a very special edition of the broadcast in which we went over some of the crazy things that are going on over there in the Middle East. So if you missed that one, please tap into our live feeds here on What's Holding You Back Now, and go back to our YouTube channel and review that broadcast. But we have a very special topic for you today, as we're going to be talking about what are some of the warning signs that your nails, yes, your fingernails and your toenails, are telling you when it comes to your health. So that's going to be our topic of discussion for today. So we are very much looking forward to this discussion and sharing some very important information with you that shall be able to help you in figuring out of what are some of the ordeals or some of the issues that you may be on the verge of having, or be able to put them at the back door if you're able to analyze what these different things are going on throughout your body. And one of the ways in which we can determine these things are by looking at our external features, our nails. And a few weeks back, we spoke about our eyes. Yes, our actual eyes, which are a gateway to our soul. And also they are a great part in showing some of the health issues or concerns that we may be having or dealing with just by looking into our eyes. So yes, I encourage you to go back and watch that that broadcast as well. And the topic of that one was, are you listening to your body? And we went more in depth about what your eyes are telling you when it comes to different things that are going on within your body as it pertains to your health. So yes, I see we have a couple of guests coming on board. So let me just acknowledge them and welcome them real quick before we get into the rest of our broadcast for today. So yes, we have the man of the hour, the one and the only, my pastor, Pastor Fred Penna. God bless you, sir. Always a great pleasure to have you with us here on the broadcast. And we also have my beloved sister, our very own missionary Marva. Yes, both from the Dominion Worship Center out of Patterson, New Jersey. So God bless you both, and thank you all for being a part of the broadcast. And please, as you are coming on board, please leave us a comment. We would love to welcome you and acknowledge you as being a part of What's Holding You Back. So yes, as we get ready to get into our topic for today. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Pastor. Bless you. Bless you. As we prepare to get into our topic for today, I just want to do a brief recap of some of the things that have happened within the past 24 hours. I'm quite sure most of you are aware that a ceasefire was put in place in the war in Iran. And this came about as President Trump, the president of the United States, made a very discouraging threat to Iran over the weekend, actually Easter Sunday, stating that he was going to um, create mass destruction over there in Iran and kill off a lot of the people if they did not open up the straits or the waterway for the ships to come through and get oil over there from the Persian Gulf and distribute it back throughout the globe. So that was the threat that President Trump made to Iran, but Iran did not budge. Um, but fortunately, as the deadline passed last night, which was Tuesday at 8 p.m., they were able to come to an agreement. And through that agreement, a ceasefire was put in place for, I believe, 2 weeks. And that is good. You know, that was the best possible outcome that we all could have hoped for. And I'm glad that it was put in place, regardless of how it came about. President Trump had to give in to the demands of Iran, which is fine. But, as long as they are looking to restore peace within the region, that is what is most important. But unfortunately, um, the prime minister of Israel, was not pleased with the deal. And he made it quite clear that he did not approve of it. And he stated that he didn't have any awareness of that deal being put in place. And so, not even 24 hours after that deal was reached, Israel has breached that ceasefire agreement as they have continued to fight with Lebanon, another country that they are at war with. And when they broke the ceasefire deal, Iran said, we are going to close the straits again, closing the waterway so no more ships can come through. So that's where we are currently at. But let me just say this. It is good that the ceasefire agreement was put in place. And as we spoke about previously, Trump is definitely looking for an off-ramp. He wants to get out of this war, this conflict. And by him giving in to the demands of Iran, just shows how desperate he was to get out of this conflict, which is good. That's what we want. We all want peace. But now that Israel has breached the contract or the agreement, now it's not back to a starting point where we first started, because now the U.S. has taken that off ramp. So now the U.S. has to stand up to Israel and let them know that if you're going to continue to wage war against these other countries, then the U.S. has to pull itself out and let Israel deal with that by themselves. That's the only way Israel is going to stop doing what they're doing. Because if the U.S. continues to fight on their behalf, Israel will continue to assault these other countries, and this conflict will only continue to escalate and impact many people all across the globe. So the U.S. just has to take a stand and say we're not going to supply you with any more ammunition or goods in waging war, and that'll be the end of it. So we'll see what happens, and as things start to change, then we'll speak about it a little more. But as for today, as stated previously, our topic for discussion for today is what are some of the warning signs that your nails are telling you when it comes to your health? All right, so yes, let us get into our subject matter for today. So let me just bring up my slides and we can get into our conversation. Okay, so this first image that you see here, this is for ridged nails. So before we get into this, I just want to say, in noticing and being aware of the different warning signs that our body is able to give us, it just lets you know how truly amazing this body, this vessel in which we have, it really is. All of these different triggers, these symptoms that we can see on the external side of things, because we can't see within our body, right? But when we get these warning signs from our fingernails, our toenails, our skin, and as we stated before, our eyes, these are all different parts of the body that can give us warning signs that something's not quite right. And we need to get these things checked out before these minor issues become something greater. So that is why we really have to take a look at what's going on within our bodies, and we really have to be very observant as to what's going on and take the necessary precautionary measures. It may be something totally benign, no problem at all, but we want to make sure it is not something that's going to give us any issues, just to ensure that we're not neglecting these problems. Yes. And yet, Pastor Fred says our tongue as well. Okay, yes, yes. You are so right, Pastor. Yes, our tongue can tell us a lot about our health, our tongue, our gums, our teeth. Wow, yes, yes, yes. The body is just so amazing. So yes, thank you for that, Pastor. Bless you. All right, so the first one, these ridges on your nails. Now, this may not be anything of significance, but then again, it can be. So let me just tell you, like, what are some of the warning signs when you start to see these vertical ridges on your nails? So most commonly, it's just a sign of aging, right? So as we age, we will start to notice more of these ridges, vertical ridges on our nails. But it also can be a sign of vitamin deficiency, such as the vitamin of B12. It can also be deficiency in iron and magnesium. So I would encourage each and every one of you, when you go back to your doctor, to get a blood test and some samples and have a workup done, and let your doctor tell you of anything in which you may be deficient on. And there are also some home health kits that you can take, and they can tell you what other deficiencies you may have as well. All right. So these are vertical ridges, and also another probable cause of these ridges in your nails could be a thyroid issue. So we definitely want to make sure we're getting these things checked out, so these small things don't turn out to be something major. All right. All right. So pull up our next slide. So this one here, this looks like something out of a alien movie or something. But these are what are called clubbed or white nails. And this is a more serious type of thing going on, that our fingernails are actually letting us know. And when you start to see this, that means that there is not enough oxygen in your blood, right? And this can be caused by liver, heart, or lung disease, or it can be an autoimmune disorder. So if you start to witness this or you see anybody with this, then they need to seek medical attention as soon as possible. So that is clubbed or white nails. All right, so this next one here, this is something that is called spooned nails because it takes on the shape of a spoon. And this can be a symptom of some digestive issues. It can be low stomach acid, it can be irritable bowel disease, or it could mean that you are anemic and may have an iron deficiency. So, again, this is something that you need to consult with your physician about and make sure it is not a serious issue. So those are spooned nails. All right, so our next slide here. This one is something that is called pitted nails. And nail pitting, this appears as a small depression or dimples in the fingernails or the toenails. And this is often caused by underlying inflammatory conditions like psoriasis, alopecia, or eczema. And the common risk factors include chronic skin conditions, arthritis, nutritional deficiencies, and also deficiencies in iron and biotin. So, yes, once again, this is something that is taking on a more serious matter. So, you need to seek um, medical care from your doctor and find out what is really going on within your body. All right. All right. So, our next one here. All right. So, this one, when you see a black or a brown nail, sorry, a black or brown line through your nail. Now, once again, this can be nothing or it can be something that is very serious. So we need to take all precautions to make sure we get it checked out and make sure it is nothing serious. So this can be a indication of what is called subungual melanoma, which is a form of skin cancer. And this one is very aggressive. All right. So you want to make sure you get this checked out and make sure it is not that. At times it pops up just from some trauma going on there within that area. And it might not be anything serious, but you want to make sure you get it checked out. If it just appears out of the blue and you're not sure what it is, you need to get it checked out. All right. So some of the common causes include trauma, moles, or infection. But any new unexplained changing lines should definitely be evaluated by a dermatologist, right? And you also may be lacking in vitamin D and also vitamin B12. So that is the black vertical line on your nails. All right, so another one here, yellow nails. Yes, nails that are discolored. All right. So normally, when you start to see um, the yellowing of the nails, it can be the toenails or the fingernails. This is most normally caused by a fungal infection, or less frequently, it could be due to aging or underlying medical conditions like diabetes or psoriasis. So some of the symptoms often include yellow and a thickened wall of the nail. It becomes brittle, and the nail starts to crumble very easily. So some treatments for this include antifungal creams and polishes, some oral medication, or addressing the underlying health issues. And also, you may want to look into if you're deficient in vitamin E. So these are just some of the things that you need to be looking at if you start to notice these things start to appear on your nails. But as with all, excuse me, as with all of these things that come up within your body, you need to seek consultation from your doctor and really find out what's going on to make sure it is not something serious. All right, so the next one here, this one is very common, and this is seeing the little white spots on your nails. So let me ask you guys in the chat there, have you witnessed any of these symptoms? If you have, please share that in the chat, and if you found out what it actually was causing it and how you went about getting a treatment for it. So for white spots on the nails, this is commonly caused by minor trauma to the nail base, such as hitting the nails on something, biting your nails, or aggressive manicures, rather than nutritional deficiencies. But other causes can include fungal infections, allergic reactions to products, or a systemic illness. So most spots will fade as the nail grows out, and then you will see those white spots start to disappear. And this also could be an indication that you are deficient in zinc and also in calcium. So we need to make sure that we are taking our vitamins so we get all of the necessary nutrients and minerals that we need that we are not getting through our regular diet. So that is the white spots on your nails. All right. So the next one here, having those very, very brittle nails. So what causes this? Well, this can be caused by repeated washing and drying, harsh chemicals that your hands are being in contact with, or it can simply be from aging. This can also be an indication of iron deficiency, thyroid disorders, or psoriasis. And you also may need to have more calcium and biotin within your diet. So, ladies, I want to encourage you, especially take off that nail polish, take off those nails, and take a look at your fingernails and your toenails and really study them, see what's going on, and see if you're seeing any of these symptoms come up. You know, it could be something that you need to get ahead of just by, doing an examination of yourself, your outer appearance of your nails, and it's going to tell you a lot about what's going on inside of your body. All right. So this is brittle nails. All right. So our next one here, this is bluish nails, which is also referred to as cyanosis. So this one here, this can be very serious. And this can be a sign of poor blood circulation. Um, and this signifies that there is low oxygen levels in the blood, which will cause this persistent bluish skin color underneath the nails. And this is going to require urgent medical attention. This is something that you don't want to put off. You need to go seek the doctor's care and find out what's really going on. Because anytime you're talking about having oxygen, you're lacking oxygen in your blood, then that's a very serious issue, and you need to go ahead and seek medical attention as soon as possible, especially if you're noticing any dizziness, any chest pain, or difficulty when it comes to breathing. Then you definitely need to seek immediate medical attention. All right. And then we have our last one here. And this is when we see that inflamed skin or it's puffy skin around the nail. So, what is this attributed to? So, this is common but often painful infection or inflammation of the skin around the fingernail or toenail, characterized by swelling, redness, and sometimes pus. So, it is usually caused by bacteria or fungi entering damaged skin from biting, hangnails, or in chronic cases, frequent water exposure. So mild cases heal with warm soaks, while severe persistent infections may require antibiotics or actual drainage of the affected area. So yes, these are some of the symptoms that we might see or the warning signs that we might see when it comes to our nails, as they are giving us some signs that something is not quite right, and we need to take some precautionary measures to correct these issues before it comes to become something more serious and more dangerous. All right. So, yes, that is our display, our topic for today on what are our nails telling us when it comes to some of the health issues that we are starting to feel or see on our exterior of our body. So yeah, this is going to be a very quick broadcast today, as we just wanted to share that information with you and bring some awareness to some of these things that you might be able to see and notice, but you're not actually um, knowing as to what this really is or what may be causing it. So this is just to shed a little light and have you take a deeper look into your fingernails and your toenails, and really take the time out to make sure you're not seeing any of these issues pop up on yourself, your kids, your family, your loved ones. We all need to take the proper means of action to, just be observant, see what's going on, and if we can make some recommendations to one another, by all means, do so. It can only be beneficial to them, so that we can try to cut off the problem before it comes something more difficult to deal with. All right. All right. Bless you, missionary. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes. So, family, yes, want to thank each and every one of you for jumping on board with us this evening for our brief broadcast on what are our nails telling us when it comes to different issues that we are having as it pertains to our health. And as I mentioned earlier, our previous broadcast in which we did and talking about what your eyes can reveal to you when it comes to your health, that is also in our live broadcast archives there on what's holding you back. So if you have not seen that one, please go back and watch that. It's going to be very enlightening for you and share some good information on what your eyes are telling you when it comes to your actual health. All right. So unless we have any comments or anyone that wants to share any of the symptoms that you may have seen within yourself or someone else, if not, then we're going to close things out for today. But I'm going to ask if you can please leave us a like and also share this out. This is very useful information that we can all use for the benefit of our own health and our family and loved ones as well. All right. Okay. So I don't see any more comments coming in. So I'm going to close things out for today. But once again, I just want to thank each and every one of you for joining us this evening here on What's Holding You Back. And if you have not already done so, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel as we come forward every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time with another broadcast as we share different information here on What's Holding You Back. Have a good night, everybody.
What's holding you back? Holding you back from touch. What's holding you back? You gotta fly like an eagle and go high. What's holding you back? Holding you back from touching the sky. Oh, holding you back. You finally gotta reach for the sky. I was born to succeed, not to be a spoke in the wheel. Told myself there's more to this than just waking up when I feel. So I made a commitment to turn my earnings up. Couldn't see myself as an employee that still couldn't. Looked in the mirror, saw a spark in my eye. Knew I had to hustle and stop living a lie. I packed my dreams in a suitcase, took the first train out, headed for the horizon with success is no doubt. What's holding you back?